Welcome to Weather Watch, Millersville University's exclusive weather entertainment show. I'm your host, Curtis Silverwood. We have a lot in store for you this episode, but let's start off by getting you caught up with the weather that made headlines in the past few weeks in your Weather in 60 Seconds. A tropical storm in the Philippines, the strongest hurricane to ever hit the Baja Peninsula, and major flooding in Phoenix, Arizona are all part of this edition of your Weather in 60 Seconds. Crossing the globe to the Philippines, where Tropical Storm Fenghuang made an impact on the islands. The storm brought winds reaching 60 miles per hour and extensive flooding to Manila and the northern and central provinces of Luzon Island. More than 205,000 people had to evacuate, 5 people had been killed, and the storm affected more than 700,000 people. Headed to the Baja Peninsula, Hurricane Odile, the strongest hurricane to ever hit the area, played a toll on the people of the peninsula's resorts region. The large and powerful Category 3 hurricane had sustained winds of 125 miles per hour, which brought torrential rain and coastal flooding. Thousands had to be evacuated from the region. Luckily, there were no deaths, but 135 injuries were reported. Moving northward to Arizona, where the remnants of Hurricane Norbert made the roads of Phoenix look like lakes. Record rainfall totals were recorded and many people were in danger from the high waters. There were 2 deaths associated with the flooding. Crews were working around the clock to prevent as much damage and flooding of homes possible. And that will do it for your weather in 60 seconds. This summer was a weather headline in itself, one of the coolest summers in the past 20 years. Weather Watch's Tara Minni examines why the summer was below average and if it will have any effect on the winter to come.
Last season, I examined the winter of 2013 and its below average temperatures in relation to the dreaded polar vortex that made headlines everywhere. During the summer, the polar vortex was rumored to be back and be the sole cause of the milder season we experienced in much of the U.S. We went to the experts to see why we felt these cooler temperatures during the summer season. Did the polar vortex really reappear?
The polar vortex is mainly a winter phenomenon. It's the pocket of coldest air in the atmosphere, which on average resides up near the North Pole, but during the winter season, it can be displaced pretty far south. In fact, last winter, on a couple of occasions, the polar vortex came down into Ontario, and that's when we had our near record cold conditions. During the summer months, that cold air retreats to the polar region. This summer, when we had those cold spells, and there were some people in the media and on the web saying the polar vortex was responsible, that was incorrect. What we had was a strong jet stream trough, an anomalously strong jet stream trough that allowed unseasonably cool air to visit us, but it wasn't the polar vortex that was responsible.
The weather this summer may have taken a toll on your vacation plans if you were traveling, because around the nation, it went to extremes and broke records in many places.
Along the west coast, there was a ridge in the jet stream that just prevailed there all summer long, and of course we heard about the heat and the drought and the fires that resulted in California and Oregon and Washington. But from the Rockies to the East Coast, it was a broad jet stream trough that in the mean prevailed and resulted in below normal conditions. And here in the East, we had our coldest summer in Millersville in 22 years.
Rumor has it that this upcoming winter we will see below average temperatures and above average snowfall. But is this really the case?
Yeah, there's been a lot of speculation about what's in store for us this winter. Of course, last winter was one of the coolest and snowiest on record, and of course the chilly summer, and people have taken that down the path of well, this winter's going to also continue that trend, and I'm not so sure that it will. In the Pacific, El Nino, will there be a bona fide El Nino, a warming that's significant in the Central Pacific? If so, that can indeed enhance the storm track and give us opportunities for snow, but that El Nino has not formed yet. So the ingredients may be there at times this winter, but that doesn't mean they're going to come together as nicely as they did last winter for snow lovers. And I guess at this early time, being it's only October, I'm inclined to think this winter is perhaps more an average kind of winter, though it'll be late November. I'll put out my official winter outlook and perhaps I'll revise it at that time.
Just because we had a below average summer doesn't necessarily mean we'll have a harsh winter. Overall, the upcoming winter should be quite ordinary. Reporting for Weather Watch, I'm student meteorologist Tara Minni.
Thanks, Tara. Satellites are important in the everyday work of meteorologists. They help determine key features of storms and other weather-related phenomena. In our segment, Weather 101, Aaron Cox looks into the GOES satellite system used now and what we can expect from the GOES-R system in 2016.
As we all know, satellites play an important role when it comes to forecasting weather. One type of satellite that is widely used is the GOES satellite, approximately 35,800 kilometers directly over the equator. GOES is an acronym that stands for Geostationary Operational Environmental Satellite. Geostationary means that it appears to be stationary because it rotates the same pace and direction the Earth does. They not only take pictures of clouds to watch for potential storm development, but also measure things like atmospheric temperature, moisture, and winds. One of the main jobs of GOES satellites is to watch hurricanes when they are developing in the ocean. The newest version of GOES satellites, GOES-R, will be launched in 2016 with much improved technology. The better quality of the newer GOES satellites will include Advanced Baseline Imager, or ABI, which is a primary sensor on the satellite that creates images of Earth's weather, climate, and environment. GOES-R will have 16 channels compared to 5 that are currently used. GOES-R will include 2 visible, 4 near-infrared, and 10 infrared channels and will deliver a 5 times faster coverage rate. While current models can take up to 30 minutes to do a full scan of the Earth, the new version will have the ability to do the same task in 5 minutes. It will be able to rapidly scan images every single minute, allowing forecasters to produce faster updates about the weather. Besides the standard uses, the new satellites will also provide environmental measurements like ocean dynamics, flow of water, fire, smoke, volcanic ash plume, aerosols, air quality, and vegetation health. Reporting for Weather Watch, I'm student meteorologist Aaron Cox.
Thank you, Aaron. Well, that's all we have for this episode of Weather Watch. We hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at the addresses shown below. You can also check out our website, muweatherwatch.com, for all of our episodes and shorts. On behalf of the entire cast and crew, I'm Curtis Silverwood. We hope you share our show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.